For latest updates and short audio clips, follow us on Instagram, Reading the Author.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast Reading the Author, a unique show where we read authors' mind and not their book. Meanwhile, I truly believe and pray that you and your families are completely safe and healthy as well. Today we have Colby Sharma sir with us, author of The Curveball. Thank you so much sir for coming on our show.
Gaurav, thank you so much for this tremendous opportunity. It's a wonderful way to engage with my Indian readers.
Pleasure, sir. So, before we get into the podcast, first of all, I would like to say that it's our honor to have you on the show. And as of now, I would request you to please introduce yourself so that our listeners can know much more about you. And moreover, please share about your journey of being an author as well.
Thank you so much. In a bit about myself, I'm a law graduate from the University of Liverpool in the United Kingdom. Worked in law. Growing up, my house was filled with books, filled with ideas, and from my dad and people. I was just very blessed to have been around, and the ideas I was very grateful to have learned. I decided to write the Curveball because of my own personal journey of adversity. I had a learning disability when I was a teenager. And I overcame that to graduate from law school with honors. And it allowed me to see things in a very profoundly different way than I had maybe previously. It allowed me also to tap into my fullest potential. So when it came to writing The Curveball, it was my first book. And I was thinking, what to write. But most importantly, what is my why? What do I really want to express to readers? And then I started to come together with what was the only most personal thing I really wanted to say, which is what I'd overcome. And it also helped that I'm a big fan of sports. Baseball in India obviously is cricket, but the analogy still stands that the curveball is when life throws you a difficult and unexpected path. How do you respond? What do you do differently that you might not have had to do previously? So that was the journey to just writing the book, and then I published it right when lockdown hit around the world last year.
Okay, that seems to be interesting, sir. But can you share with us, when was that first thought, just stuck in your mind that, now I have to publish a book? What was that feeling? How did you go through that?
Well, so I started to write the first draft of the book more than 4 years ago. So summer 2016. I was a law graduate. I came back home for summer break, and then I was seeing my dad, because I'm very, his approach and his actions and his support and everything that I've been blessed to learn from him. I saw how he approached the craft. So it was summer 2016, and I was back home from summer break. And I had this thought throughout my head. I'm like, everyone knew I wanted to write a book. I've had that ambition for a long time. Even when I was in high school, I wrote a book about Charles Dickens, the famous author.
Okay.
And I got a great cover of him done. So I had this idea, and then I took action on the idea. And then by the end of the summer, I had a first draft of the book fully done. And then it was 4 long years after that I published it right in the heart of lockdown last year. So lockdown was the inspiration to make me put my book out into the world. Because it was this once in a lifetime opportunity. People were like, what's happening right now?
Definitely.
Everything just going completely chaotic. I'm like, this is the time of the curveball. And this is how the curveball can help people rise and thrive at this time.
Okay. So sir, as you shared about the journey of being an author, so the book seems to be really interesting, but sir, there must be many people who will start searching the book after listening to this podcast. So can you share some insights what a reader can expect from this book?
So The Curveball is a gripping story about how an individual turns fear into fuel and adversity into his greatest opportunity. It's a time in the book where he becomes his true self once again. And then I take the reader on a journey about how he achieves that transformation. The reader will also learn the importance of putting ego to one side, the importance of gaining a deeper understanding of rituals and ritualization, and most importantly, why adversity is a call to be a team sport, to get people on board once again.
Okay. So can we expect more such books from you, sir, or like you want to experiment a bit on other genres, or like what's upcoming next? What your existing readers can expect from you?
So I do have some thoughts for book 2 in my mind right now,
Mm-hmm.
but right now I'm just focused on promoting this book as far and as wide as I can.
Definitely. Okay. So, sir, my next question to you is like, most of the authors are working to, create their impact on their readers' mind. Like they want to be known or remembered as a certain genre writer. So, what sort of impact do you want to create on readers' mind? Like, say, from a couple of years, if anyone sees a book, okay, it's a book by, Colby Sharma, sir. Then, what impact, what that sudden image you want to be, just gets flashed in their mind?
So I want them to say that, my name and my book, The Curveball, is a timeless book for a timely moment in the world today. It's a book filled with timeless lessons for a very timely moment.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to say Colby served through authenticity, served through his personal journey. I mean, as the quote goes, what's most personal is also what's most universal. I went through a learning disability. So many people are going through so much right now with respect to mental health, with respect to physical health since the pandemic began. So I want people to see that, I shared whatever I could share based on my own personal journey. It wasn't overly intellectualized. It was a deep yearning from the heart to connect with people in a very authentic way. And I want them to see that throughout the work. I want them to see that he's creating a body of work that will hopefully transcend him, that will inspire so many generations of young people to go out and do great things and live a life of success and impact.
Definitely, sir. Personally, what I feel that if you have felt something and you are writing that thing, you're just jotting down that thing, then that will be very much relatable. Whereas when someone think and write, so that connectivity comes only when you have felt that thing, right?
Totally. I mean, so many people. There's an abundance of how. There's an abundance of tools right now. Do we use Zoom? Do we use Microsoft Teams? Do we write with pen or paper? What is missing is the why, the deep why to get works, and certainly books like works done. What is the why you want to do? For me, it was because I came from that world. I saw kids with learning disabilities, and that's a huge market right now. So many people are navigating that with the challenge. For people like that have learning disabilities, they have lost access to in-person coaching. So my why was I saw myself in them, and that's what pushed me to write the book. That's what allowed me to have that deep insight of what someone like that goes through, and that's what making it all the more relatable, not only for people with learning disabilities and young kids and people coming up nowadays, but people of any walk of life, whatever the journey is, whatever path they're walking right now.
Sir, every time when someone comes to my podcast and share their journey, like very few people come here, and you will be able to understand what I want to say, that you are doing something which is for the society, right? You could have written something which appeal the masses, like some love story, some crime thriller or something like that, but you have taken time and written something which is for the society, for the benefit of the society. And I really feel honored to share my podcast with such people. So thank you so much for coming, sir.
No worries, bro. My pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
So sir, my next question to you of this podcast is like, do you feel competitive in this industry? Like after lockdown, there are we can say like hundreds of authors and books are being published every week, we can say. So as an author, what's your take on this? Like, do you feel a neck to neck competition, or you are someone who feels that in creativity there's no competition, everyone is in their own race? Like, what's your take on this?
I don't worry about the competition at all. I don't worry about that. I focus on getting my message out, one book at a time, one podcast at a time, one speech at a time. Having said that, I think my book contains deep themes that have been resonant throughout society, throughout the ages. Everyone will overcome adversity. Everyone will have challenges that they will be dealing with, regardless of what year, regardless of what time in their lives, whether it's maybe divorce, whether they've been unemployed or, something like that. But my book contains deep themes like that, deep themes of grief, deep themes of perseverance, deep themes of having to reach out for mentorship. So my book will really, I hope, have the ingredients to really stand the test of time. And, it's written with a sports in mind, which I believe is unique. It combines the best of sports, which is a bonding power throughout society. So many people, there's a reason why the Soccer World Cup has 1 billion people watch it, because so many people love sports. So many people love soccer. In India, throughout the Commonwealth, cricket, massive sport, baseball, massive sport. So you're playing with themes that have been around for generations and will inspire people from generations to come.
Okay. So, sir, my next question to you is like, as of now, do you have any writing schedule, or it's just like random that sometimes you get an idea, you just jotting down in your diary or your phone, and then after some time you just sit down and write? Like, how does it goes with you?
It's very organic. No, it's very organic. I mean, I have thoughts on my phone. I'm like, I need to put down on my computer, put down somewhere in the manuscript.
Okay. So you are also someone who believes that, creativity is something which follows us. We can't chase it, right?
For sure. And what I want to share with your listeners, maybe if they have a book themselves in mind, is, it's a game of iteration. When I've only been in this for not too long, but it's a game of iteration. You always want to keep making it better. Even when I released the book, it was live on Amazon, I still went through the manuscript again and again, keep taking little things out, making it more and more polished. And I was able to do that because through Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing, it allows self-published authors to do that. So it's a game of optimizations. It's a game of very much of incrementalism.
True. Okay. So, sir, as we have discussed, that numbers of writers are getting increased day by day. What in India, I can personally feel that, the numbers of readers are getting less day by day. Like when it comes to doing a commitment with a book, we need a lot of patience to finish a book. And when it comes to the, our generation, the patience level is quite low, whether it comes to watching TikTok, Reels and all those things. In 15 seconds, we also keep on, just swiping up. So what do you think, like, what are the measures one can take to, just make the readers more inclined towards book? Like, as of now, what I feel that, reading a book has become very easy because you have PDFs. There are many, websites who are providing books on their, phone and all, but still people are not inclined towards these things. So what measures one can take for doing, for all these things?
Well, if the book speaks to you, if you like the themes within it, guaranteed you might have to stick with it for a much longer period of time. Because you've been drawn to it. If something in the book relates to you, whatever you're going through, whatever path you're in, you'll have that sense of relatability. Like, I need to keep reading. I want to see how this book ends. And if you look at Harry Potter was a classic example. It came out 2000s. True. People are like, kids do not read books. Readership amongst youth has been declining steadily. That absolutely bucked the trend and was the exception to the rule. Because it had relatable characters that stood the test of time. That you had themes within the book that were just everlasting, that were just profound. So in a nutshell, they did something that was very unique, that really got readers, and young readers especially, to buy books that in rates we might never see again.
Definitely. Okay, so sir, like, we have talked about your journey, your vision and all those things regarding the book. Now coming to your personal life, can you share with us, like, what was the most happiest moment of your life? Like, I know there must be many, but if you can share one of them with us, then that would be really great.
Well, I'm a massive baseball fan, so whenever I get to an amazing baseball stadium, I really get a lot of joy. I've seen games at Yankee Stadium, Dodger Stadium, amazing ballparks. So it's stuff like that. It's going to a unique destination or having great food with friends or people I like to be around. It's traveling to unique places. Some of my happiest times were, I've just been traveling.
Okay. So, sir, my next question to you is something, which every listener gonna listen very carefully, because, I wanted to ask that there are, ups and downs in our lives. Like when there are happy moments, we just celebrate and all, but, there are low moments in each one of us life. So how do you tackle with them? Like, how do you deal with those moments? How do you just, overcome with those moments? If you can share your journey or, something which can be helpful to our listeners, to me especially. So please do that.
It's the acknowledgement that, those aren't permanent. It's the acknowledgement that those are not permanent. And in every negative emotion, if you flip it around, it contains a path to find the positive emotion and the positive realization. Even if we go to the book, sometimes we have to lose something to find everything. And I don't advocate for that in a obviously a detrimental way, and I hope everyone has a wonderful and joyous, successful life. But sometimes we need to have that ego be dimmed down. Sometimes we have to go through the messy times to find the purity. Sometimes we need to have setbacks for a bounce back, for a great comeback. Harvey Specter had this quote in the TV show Suits.
Suits.
And my back is up against the wall. It provides me back support to come out swinging. So whenever you find your back is up against the wall, that is a time for you to come out swinging. So, and as I also share in the book, we succeed because of adversity. We don't succeed in spite of it. We succeed because of adversity, because we're willing to endure the adverse moments, because we know something so much more abundant is around the corner.
Okay. Now coming to the time when your book was about to release, like what was going at the back of your mind? Like, do you feel stressed, excited, or have you set some benchmarks for your book? Like, okay, it has to be sold out this much in this time. Like you have started writing it around 4 years back. So what was going on in your mind when it was live on everywhere?
I pinched myself. I'm like, I can't believe this is happening. I actually have a book for sale on Amazon. Let me see how people were responding to it. But someone was like, you were an author even before you became live on Amazon. I'm like, that's an interesting insight. And I want to share that with your readers. You were an author before you were an actual author live for a book for sale. You were an author just by doing the work to put your thoughts and ideas onto paper in whatever way that looks like. That is the art and grit of going through the motions and going through the process. Some people are like, I'm only an author when I've sold X number of copies. No, you were an author when you sat down and you got the idea out of your head and into a medium, whether it's on your computer or on written scraps of paper. In terms of the metrics and sales, I really didn't have an idea as to how many I would sell, whether I'd sell 1 copy or 500 copies. I didn't really know, and I really didn't care. I was engrossed in the moment. I was in the moment. And I was finding ways to make it better. Even when I did the book launch, I sat down with my dad. How can I make the book launch better? What can I do differently the next time? So it's going through the incremental processes. It's going through keep doing things differently, keep optimizing, keep growing, and keep learning.
Okay, sir. So, sir, like, do you read your book reviews? And if you read them, then do they affect you? Like some negative one, or that positive one makes us happy. So, does it happen with you?
Yeah, there's the saying: if you're not getting hated, you're not doing it right.
True.
So I must be doing something right.
Yeah. Okay. And sir, like, as of now, what's your current mental state? Like, as a person, as an author, what are the things which you're focusing upon?
No, I'm happy. I'm driven. I'm finding ways to help people. I'm doing a lot of speaking, so that keeps me very engaged. I'm doing a lot of traveling. reading, hang around great foods, great people, great company. So I'm happy. It's a great time right now. Tomorrow is actually the 1-year anniversary of the book being for sale on Amazon. So yeah, it's going well. Just grateful to do this. Grateful to have people like yourselves that like the book, that are sharing how the book's impacting you. So it's I'm very, very blessed.
Okay. First of all, congratulations, sir, for the first anniversary.
Thank you.
Okay. So, sir, my last question to you of this podcast is like, what are advices for the upcoming authors? Like, there must be many new authors, debut author who will be listening to this podcast, and they will be holding their draft in their laptop, in their hand, in their diary. So, what will be that? If you can give a couple of advices to them, then what it would be?
Start with your why. Be crystal clear on your why. Everyone might have a different book and some of the derivatives of different books. As long as your why is personal, that's what matters. What is personal about it to you? So I would say start with your why. Secondly, embrace beta groups. I had a group of 7 beta readers that gave me their thoughts on the manuscript. And then from there, I optimized. From there, I knew what to take out and what to leave and put in. So have a beta group of people in mind, whether it's family or friends. So many people sometimes are like, well, someone might take my idea. I'm like, sure. But what you have is what's unique to you. You have your own unique take on it. And that's what matters. So have a beta group in mind and keep writing your truth. Stephen King had this great piece of advice: write your truth. Just write your truth. And what's most personal is also what's most universal. So keep that in mind. And there's a Canadian legendary author, Margaret Atwood. Keep failing, draft by draft. Keep failing again and again and again. That's what makes you a better writer. That's what's going to keep making the draft better and better. Finally, I'd say just chase impact. Be someone that chases impact through your writing. And that's what I'm trying to do with the Curveball. That's what I'm really just trying to do. So chase impact, keep failing draft by draft, keep optimizing, keep growing, and having a beta group is going to be so important. And remember, be crystal clear on your why, not your how. How comes after you solidify the why.
Okay. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you must have enjoyed this episode, and if you do, then do follow our podcast.
I'd love to share how people can access the book. So
please.
You can find the book on Amazon. The Amazon version is through Jayco Publishing House. They've released their own unique version. So that's you can find the book in ebook, audiobook, and paperback forms. You can follow me on Instagram at Colby Sharma Official. The Curveball 426 is how you can find me on Facebook. And LinkedIn is Colby Sharma. You can sign up for my mailing list, and you can access my unique guide, the 8-point guide to ego destruction, which is found on my website, where you can access my mailing list at www.colbysharma.com. Finally, I'm available for private speaking for organizations and for individuals. If you like to find ways to thrive amidst adversity, to know how to do and be more at this time, you can email me and we can have a conversation and see how we can go from there.
Okay, so that's all for today, guys. I hope you must have enjoyed this episode, and if you do, then do follow our podcast, Reading the Author, available on all the leading podcast platforms. And don't forget to buy and read the book. Just go on Amazon, वहाँ पे आप search करिए Colby Sharma. You will get the book. Just buy it and read it and share with your friends and family as well. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on our show. Thank you for enlightening us with your words.
Gaurav, an absolute pleasure of mine. Absolute pleasure. Thank you for your time. Thank you. It's a tremendous opportunity.
Pleasure, sir. Pleasure.